Hello everyone, and welcome to week 6. I know the semester is going very quickly, or at least it seems that way to me, so I hope that the pace is feeling right to you and that you're making good progress. Wanted to let you know that I have completed the grading of your second reflection paper, so feel free to take a look at my feedback. I hope that you'll find it useful, particularly as you prepare for your third reflective analysis that will be coming up this week. So as we turn our attention to week 6 and the readings, I ask you to start again this week with an icebreaker activity, and so I called it a penmanship exercise, but really wasn't about penmanship, and so I'm sure that you probably already figured that part out, but want to kind of talk about what that was like for you. So as you wrote your name 3 times with your dominant hand, how was that for you? Quick, easy, simple? You might have been saying to yourself, I don't know why Tara's asking me to do this. Let's contrast that with when you did the writing 3 times with your non-dominant hand. What was that like? Were you a little frustrated? Did it take you longer? Did you have to focus more? Did it require more attention on your part? Did it require some skill that perhaps you didn't really have? Maybe there was some discomfort. Well, guess what? That's what change is like. And I've talked about this a little bit on some posts that we had early in the semester, and it's really an exercise that I use as a part of the change management consulting when I'm in organizations to give people a snapshot to what change actually feels like, and then what that's going to mean for you. And as we take a look at this week's readings, particularly in the Morris text, you'll see that there is some discussion around change. And when we think about change, we know it's an inevitability. We know that it's an important part of innovation. We know that leadership is also central to that. And so I think having an understanding of change, framing it within the context of leadership and innovation is helpful to us as we look to move forward, as we look to make progress as it relates to those adaptations. And so again, I wanted to start our discussion and our activities with that this week, and so I hope that you found that to be insightful. With that being said, you've noticed that we're kind of rounding home, if you will, in terms of the Morris text. You're seeing some revisiting of points made in previous chapters. We're also, if you will, looking at more around this implementation and design, and so there's a particular framework that's explored in the Morris text. And then we kind of shift gears a little bit as we take a look at the Chang article and looking at technology diffusion, but in a particular way looking at patents and their adoption and then how they're actually being utilized. And so when we look at this week's readings, I kind of have 2 baskets, if you will. There's the first basket that we're utilizing this week is really also framed within the context of the videos that I've selected. And so you're going to see the first video is from the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, which has been around since World War II. And they do research on patents, but they look at it more specifically around patent quality. And I was watching a TED video when the presenter was talking about a decline in innovation based upon a decline in the number of patent applications in the U.S. And so I've included that OECD article and then video for you to take a look at and get your thoughts around this concern about patent decline and whether or not that's impacting our ability to actually bring forward new ideas that allow us to make progress as a society. And as a part of that first basket, we're also taking a look at some researchers, some well-respected researchers, Rosabeth Moss-Cantor and John Carter, both of which are Harvard faculty members. Carter is now on his own, but we're going to take a look at that research that they've done in particular kinds of ways that's led to some ideas that they have around change. And then the second basket that we're going to take a look at is really what I consider to be more of a practitioner's viewpoint, in that you're going to be looking at one of my favorite books called Switch. And it's by Chip and Dan Heath. They're brothers. We read this book as a part of an OmniQuest selection. That's something that Northwood does. It's basically a book that everybody across the university reads, and then it gets integrated into curriculum and class discussion. And so it's one of my favorite reads. And so I have a few videos from that book that I think that you'll find helpful. And I have another book read. I didn't include a video around that this week, but it's a book called The Speed of Trust by Stephen M. R. Covey. That's the son of the late Stephen Covey. And because trust is one of the concepts that's dealt with in our discussion this week, if you're interested in more about that, that's a pretty good read for you. So I'm looking forward to the upcoming week. I know that you'll be busy writing your third reflection papers, and so I'll be taking a look at your activity on the discussion boards for this week and grading that and giving feedback. So have a wonderful week. Take care. Bye-bye.